I am good. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Emily Ann Marie Smith. We have three files, 22-21177 FH, which is, I believe, a pretrial contempt. Then we have 23-21352 FH. And then we have 22-20935, which is a violation of probation file. And Ms. Walsh is your probation officer, right?
No.
She was.
Judge,
Oh, wait, that's the wrong file. I'm sorry, I'm gonna take that back. It was attached, but 22-20935 is not part of this. So, Ms. Smith, are you aware of whether or not you were approved for drug court?
No, I'm not aware.
Okay. So I have not received a response, so I don't have that information either, Mr. Malaro.
Okay, all right, we're ready to proceed though, Judge.
All right, and I have Salvatore Malaro on behalf of Ms. Smith and Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. So how would you like to proceed?
Judge, a few things. First, we'd like to adjourn this out for another pretrial to the basis of which is to see what the drug court referral, if the recommendation is. Second, Ms. Smith did provide me with some information. Her brother brought it in. I have to review it, see if it's of any value to her disposition of her case. And third, we'd like to address bond at this time.
All right, December 6th at 8:30 in the morning for pretrial. And pretrial December 6th at 8:30, and you can do the stip in order to adjourn. And Ms. McClure, can you sign your name with permission?
Yes.
All right, so on file number 22-21177 FH, there was a violation of probation. She pled and was to that was sentenced. So, okay, and then on file number 23-21352 FH, the charges are possession of methamphetamine. So, as charged, plea with drug court or an alternate plea. All right, so Mr. Malaro, you can address bond.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, all of her contempts have been resolved. I looked, and when I met with Ms. Smith last week, she provided me with an order. I believe the court issued sua sponte indicating that any and all contempts were resolved or was dismissed due to something out of, well, I looked at the order. Ms. Smith and there originally thought that the case itself was dismissed, but I explained to her it was just the contempt issues. That being said, Judge, she has, I believe, minimal criminal history. She did have a failure to appear and some positive screens. In the context of that, when I discussed this matter with her, she does what a lot of people do that finds herself in her situation. They make one little mistake, and rather than getting hold of the attorney to try and fix it or minimize the damage, they, make it worse. We've had a frank discussion about that. She indicates to me she understands. She knows that no matter what, she has to appear in court, indicate to me that she would appear make all court appearances. And I believe that she is committed to being available for any and all drug screens and staying drug-free while this matter works towards resolution. Based on all that, Your Honor, and again, pulling the emotional holiday card as well, we were asking the court to consider a PR bond with drug testing conditions so that Ms. Smith can be released and spend the holidays with her family. That'd be our request.
All right, Ms. Adams, on 22-21177 FH, she had a violation of probation on that file, but she pled guilty and was sentenced. So we do still have a contempt of court, right?
I think that's right, Judge. I was trying to figure that out myself.
Yeah, I show a judgment of sentence back on March. Of the, well, yeah, she pled in January of this year. And then she had. So she was sentenced back in January or February, I think. And then in May, she tested positive for amphetamines, methamphetamines, THC, coke. Mr. Coast, I think you had a hard time tracking her down, is that correct?
Well, Judge, she tested positive and then she just quit showing up and then she didn't make her court dates. But on 10/17, you actually gave her 60 days in jail on the contempt and she had about a month worth of credit. So I'm okay with trying her out again with the drug screens.
Right. Okay, so Miss Smith, but you are on probation, Miss Smith, on one file, right?
Yeah.
Who's your probation officer?
Yeah.
Judge, I'm
Sarah
actually
Teskey?
no, Judge,
got two
I'm actually supervising that case where she's
Oh,
supposed
okay.
to make payments.
Okay, all right, so Miss Smith, do you have a place to go? Okay, we're not picking up audio on you and it's not your fault, it's that room. So do you have a place to go?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, all right, so we will give you one more opportunity. So I
Thank
will
you.
release you on a PR bond on both of these files. You are to report to Mr. Coast and test as directed.
Okay.
Not to use any illegal controlled substances. And to provide a valid address to Mr. Coast and a phone number upon your release. Mr. Malaro, the next court date will be December 6th. So ma'am, December 6th on your paperwork from the jail will be a hearing date. Make sure you show up. You can come in person or you can appear via Zoom, all right?
All right, thank you so much.
Your Honor.
Judge,
Anything?
Can I just ask one question? On
Sure.
the two, I think it's the 21171 file, was 7411 revoked on that as part of that contempt? I thought
No.
it was.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I just,
I don't think so.
Judge,
I
we
see.
can sort this out later, but she showed me something last week that you had sua sponte dismissed some contempt issue. But
well, the
I'll,
only
Right.
reason I ask is because it does make a difference with whether there should be a drug sup on this or not. And I know the Court of Appeals has held that if there isn't a drug sup and we make a plea to this with no sups, that it's illusory and not a valid plea. That's the only reason I'm asking.
I don't typically revoke 7411 or HIDA. So I don't know.
Okay.
This file's kind of convoluted, so we'll look into it. All
Okay,
right,
thank you.
so Miss Smith, when you get out, you want her to come see you today as soon as she gets out? Mr. Coast?
Yes, Judge, come up to the third floor and check in over at the clerk's office and I'll come out and see you.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, he takes lunch from like 12 to 1 or something like that. So if he's not here, just wait, all right?
Okay, we'll do.
All right, and Mr. Malaro, you do the notice of hearing for December 6th, correct?
yes, I will, Your Honor.
All right, okay, you're all set, Ms. Smith, thank you.
So much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sir, what's your name? Yeah, you.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Malaro, that's all you had from the jail. So, let's see. It's like all rounded today. Mr. Malaro.
Judge, I'm not aware of any further files, but I'll stick around.
No,
just in case.
I have nothing left with you.
I'll stick around just
Yep.
in case, so.
All right, have a good Thanksgiving though.
You too.
Okay, who's your attorney?
Cousins.
Um, Spell your last name.
ARELERFRD.
Right, come up to the podium, because I'm not. Spell your last name.
ELERFRD.
Say it again for her.
Capital R, lowercase ELERFRD.
Rutherford, you are not on my docket today.
They
Miss,
get up to, within 10 days.
say it again.
They say, is not supposed to be here? They say, get up to the court within 10 days.
I don't know, but we're gonna find you. Miss Holly, you know what we're talking about?
I think there's a warrant out for him. He said he got out of jail in Washtenaw County or something.
Yeah, I paid
He
a
didn't-
warrant, got out.
He didn't come to sentencing. As far as we know, there's still a warrant, so I don't know. I told him to contact the sheriff's department, but I don't know whatever happened with that.
Yeah, so I had to come down.
Okay,
So Monroe just mailed this.
Yes, the bond company messed up in, it's an MSP original complaint. So the warrant says MSP post. So they thought it was an MSP Monroe County case. He was in Washtenaw County Jail, so they went to Washtenaw County, took the bond to Washtenaw County, defendant did not sign the bond. It's not signed by you or a judge there. So it hasn't been signed by anybody except the bond company.
so he posted bond.
So he posted bond, but he still has not been seen on the actual warrant, which was because he didn't appear for sentencing.
And that's where the warrant come from here, right?
Yeah, you're here to take care, no, you're good, you're good. Just, it's cool. You're here, you're trying to take care of it. We're good.
Just wanted to give you
Do
the
you want to give me
background.
the file?
I'll grab the file.
I can pull it for you, I've got it.
Thank you. All right, so we just need to sign your bond, get your paperwork processed, so you're good. Have a seat. We're gonna step off the bench wherever. We're gonna take a break real quick
Do I have
and
enough time to smoke? I can smoke. Is that all?
3 minutes. You can smoke a cigarette that quick, 3 minutes.
So is Spencer coming home for Thanksgiving?
He is home.
He is home. Oh, that's great.
He is home. His girlfriend's coming in today.
Oh, good, good. Now, will you be going out for Christmas?
Don't know about Christmas yet.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Making plans, figuring things out.
Yeah, there you go.
So I got a trial. I think in this court,
Uh-huh.
like the day after New Year's.
Oh, do you?
Whatever day, the first day back, we come back.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
a trial here in this court.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'll have to find out if you guys go out for Christmas to see, you might go to see Riley, you think?
We're gonna, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we go sometime between now and then, but
Okay,
well, you know,
okay,
probably. I don't know,
yeah,
we gotta figure it out.
okay. Oh,
When I was down there before, I was told I had to come back for Jack's Christmas program at school.
oh, good, that's nice, that's
And,
special.
you know, and that's preschool Christmas program.
Yes.
That's, you know,
Those are so cute.
that's a half an hour maybe.
Right, 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 but it's worth it to see them. They're growing so much, Doug.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. And then she sent us, or Sarah did, the turkey pictures with their faces. Those were so adorable.
Yeah.
There's some coffee.
I'm good. Thank you.
When did you get your coffee?
Yeah, yep, I got a cup in the office.
Okay.
Thank you, Jen, very much. I'm gonna go put this away. Doug, thank you for bringing this.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
All rise.
So you can be seated. Mr. Rutherford, why don't you come up? So does Kevin Cousins know, oh, push, yeah, does he know you're gonna be here today?
Who was it gave me the call and reminded me to, cause I didn't get, I guess I didn't sign what's name, I hadn't seen it till just last night. So I didn't know the 10 days, so I just made it up here.
Okay, okay. So, when's the last time you talked to Mr. Cousins?
A couple days ago, I was trying to figure out a date, so he told me to figure it
Okay,
out.
so I'm gonna call him. Okay, so. And we'll get this taken care of and you on your way. Oh, you just, weren't you logged in? No. All right, it's not answering. All right, so Becky, we need him to sign the bond and me sign the bond, right?
Judge. He didn't show up for sentencing and you've not seen him since then, so I don't know where to go with this. I think I need to do an update.
Well, he's here, so I'm happy about that. So I'm gonna give him bonus points for that. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jerry Lee Rutherford III, file number 2021-20509FH. So Mr. Rutherford was held in the Washtenaw County Jail. and was recently released. He did post bond on this. And so Mr. Relaford, you were supposed to be sentenced on April 21 of 2023, and you didn't show up, and that's how we got the warrant on you, okay? Okay, so Ms. Holly is going to need to update your pre-sentence report, which, Ms. Holly, you don't need 6 weeks to do that, right?
I'm gonna have to, I don't even know why he was in jail because there was nothing pending.
But
at the
my
time he
question
sentenced.
was, you don't need 6 weeks, a month, or,
Sure.
I mean, do you need the 6 weeks to be able to process it?
No, that's fine.
Okay, so Ms. Adams, do I have a sentencing date in,
Can we do it today?
no, because you didn't
Oh,
show
yeah.
up and you got some new charges, she's gotta update the report, okay? So are you you're in Ipsy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Ms. Adams, do I have a date 3 weeks out or something?
We could do December 14th, if that's not too soon.
Is that all right, Ms. Holly? It's like 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I have no
All right.
idea what's going on with him. I don't know,
Okay,
I'd like
so-
an address.
Well, hold on, I'll get there.
Okay.
It's live on YouTube, so I'm gonna send him over to give his address and phone number across the hall, because you're not over there. All right, so
Right.
Mr. Relaford, what day did you say, Ms. Adams?
Thursday, December 14th.
And can I get a notice of hearing for him? And that would be at 8:15, right?
8:15, then and I'll just need to know if it's in person or Zoom.
Do you want to come in person?
8:15, can I do Zoom?
Um,
Oh, I can, can we do it later if I get come in person? I don't want to miss it because I don't have a person.
okay, Zoom's fine. We need to change that, we will. All right. So Ms. Adams, if I can get Zoom instructions and a notice of hearing for him. All right, so, and your attorney, Mr. Cousins, I tried to call him, I wasn't able to reach him. So, you were released on a bond without a signature by a judge, which I don't know why bonding agencies are doing that. So I'm gonna go over that bond with you and then I'm gonna sign it, okay? Okay, so, you have to appear for any hearings. You must abide by all the judgments entered in the case. You can't leave the state of Michigan without my permission. Got that? Don't commit any crimes while you're released. And if you move, you need to let us know your new address and your phone number. You're not to use any illegal controlled substances, illegal controlled ones. All right, so I am going to sign this. Just 1 second. So that your bond's all set. What else do I need to do on this bond, Miss Adams? He signs it too?
Yeah, he needs to sign it somewhere, I guess.
It'd be great if he could report to me Tuesday at 9 AM, that'd be helpful.
Okay, so my bailiff's gonna send this down and there's an X where I need you to sign your name, okay? All right, so a couple things. We're gonna get a notice of hearing for your sentencing date, okay? And then I need you to, when we get done in here, go across the hall and check in and tell them you need to give them your address and your phone number, okay? Yeah, straight across the hall. And then Miss Holly is going to need to see you in person Tuesday morning at 9, okay? Okay. All right, I appreciate that you came in.
Let me come up.
All right, so here's your notices. Ms. Adams, here's the bond paperwork. Does he get a copy of that? You want a copy of your bond? Okay, so we'll get you a copy of that. So just have a seat and you are all set and thank you very much. All right, So who do I have now? I have Miss Underwood. Anybody have Miss Underwood? It's in the courtroom? No. All right, Miss Underwood, I have a bunch of people lined up. Let's start with Cheyenne Dinius. All right, Miss Dinius, I've been trying to get her to connect to audio all morning and I've not been successful. So let's move on to Benjamin Boss.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm gonna disconnect her in a minute if I can't reach her. So yeah, check in across the hall and then come back next Tuesday at 9 to see Miss Holly, all right? All right, thank you. Have a good Thanksgiving. All right, Mr. Boss. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Benjamin Raymond Edward Boss, file number 23-21387FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Boss, and I have Amanda Wagner appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Miss Underwood, how would you like to proceed on behalf of Mr. Boss?
Your Honor, could I have a brief breakout with Ms. Wagner?
Your Honor, I think that I can take care of that right now. We adjourned last time because Mr. Voss was ready to plead as charged and there was some question about him doing sobriety court. I have confirmed a couple of things. My position is the same, that, you know, I have no objection to him doing sobriety court if that's what he wants to do, and that's what Ms. Underwood wants to do. But it has to be on the felony conviction. I was able to confirm during the adjournment that Mr. Voss has a minimum of 9 prior OWI convictions. So the plea offer remains the same, but district court, sobriety court will accept him into sobriety court with a circuit court probation agent. I was able to confirm that this morning. So I think that would answer your question, any question that you had for me, Ms. Underwood.
Thank you.
I guess I always, my understanding is they won't accept people with a felony, is what they always tell me.
Oh, I thought you told me the last time we were in court that they would, and I spoke with Mr. McCarron this morning and he said that they do it all the time.
Okay, okay.
Well,
I don't know.
Here's the situation. Mr. Voss has reached out to, he's been offered new employment and he's reached out to Z, I believe, in Toledo for treatment, Your Honor. He also has a new job down there that would be 3 blocks from 2 meetings, AA meetings. I believe Mr. Voss is willing to take the plea, but we would be amenable. I don't know if sobriety court is available to him because he will want to reside in Toledo for treatment.
No, it's not available to him if he lives out of state.
So, Mr. Voss, you understand that, correct?
His probation would actually be transferred to the state of Ohio.
Mr. Voss, you understand that, correct?
He is disconnected from audio again, so hold on. And Mr. Coast is here as well. All right.
Well, Judge, if he takes a misdemeanor plea, I mean,
he's not connected to audio. He can't hear us. So he was connected to audio because I spoke to him earlier. So I'm going to send him a chat to connect to audio. And we'll go over to Miss Dinius, I guess. All right, Miss Dinius, can you hear us? Cheyenne, why don't you unmute Miss Dinius? There you go. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Cheyenne Nicole Dinius. Is it Dinius or Denius?
Denius.
All right. Denius, file number 2023-21547FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Miss Denius, and I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. So, Miss Underwood, how would you like to proceed with Miss Denius?
Your Honor, I think Ms. Denius is complying with everything CPS is asking of her, but I do need to sit down with her and discuss some things. So we would just ask for a pretrial, probably the beginning of the year, Your Honor.
Are you the caseworker?
Yes.
Want to step up to the podium? Can you state your full name?
Macy Moore, Moore. I am a foster care worker with Catholic Charities.
Okay, and you're working with Miss Denius?
Yes, ma'am.
And is she in compliance?
Yes and no. We have given her all the referrals to do and she hasn't done any of them so far. So
How long has it been since you gave her the referrals?
roughly 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I would say.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So Miss Underwood, how far out are you asking for an object or an adjournment?
How about maybe the 10th of January, Your Honor, if that's good?
All right. So Miss Denius, listen to me. It is very important that you do everything you need to do and you do it right away. All right. So I tell people that come in front of me on abuse neglect cases, you know, you have to comply and there's no excuses, there's no delays. All right. So make sure you're on top of it and you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. All right.
I understand.
Okay. So Ms. Underwood, I will adjourn this to January 10 at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Voss, can you be still for just a minute because you're making a lot of noise? So January 10 at 8:30 in the morning, and Ms. Underwood, you'll do the Stipman order to adjourn, yes?
With Ms. McClure's permission.
No problem.
Okay. All right. So you're all set, Ms. Denius. You can disconnect. All right, Mr. Voss, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. So back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Benjamin Raymond Voss, file number 23-21387FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Voss, and I have Amanda Wagner appearing on behalf of the people. So Mr. Voss, you were connected earlier to audio and then you got disconnected and I didn't realize that. So Ms. Underwood and Ms. Wagner had an opportunity to speak to each other. So starting out, Mr. Coast, do you have an update on Mr. Voss? Are you on Voss?
He is doing the remote breath and he has done a pretty good job on that. He did indicate that he has a job lined up in Toledo, that he wants to move to Toledo. I said he would have to get the okay from you first. But yeah, Ms. Underwood is correct. I mean, he wouldn't be able to do sobriety court if he actually resided in Toledo.
All right, so Ms. Underwood, how do you want to proceed on behalf of Mr. Voss?
Mr. Voss, the offer is as charged, no subs. Do you want to take that offer today?
May I please have a moment to discuss this for a second?
So, Ms. Underwood, I know Mr. Glazier is going to be here in a minute and he's going to have a hearing he's got to take care of before the trial starts. So I can give you a couple minutes, but I can't give you a long time, all right?
If you wanted to put this out, Your Honor, I would have no.
I'd rather not. So
okay.
I'm just saying I don't have a long time for breakout rooms because I have a couple with Mr. Glazier. So, and the plea bargain is the same whether he had joined sobriety court or not, correct, Ms. Wagner?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, good. All right, so Ms. Underwood, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Voss. Mr. Voss, go ahead and click on join the breakout room. I'm going to call the jail to get your client, Mr. Lyons.
Your Honor.
You're welcome. Do you and Mr. Hartong need to speak to me? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to call the jail. And then, well, I'm not going to go to jail. So, Mr. Lyons, let me make Miss Adams my co-host. And then I'm gonna open up a breakout room and then I'll put you in the breakout room with Miss Adams. And then Mr. Hartung and I will step in back, all right? All right, go ahead and join that breakout room. Ready?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much.
And push.
Okay. What case are you here for? This one? Okay. All right, I'm gonna let this person in. All right, all right. Want your documents? Okay, fine. Okay, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Braxton Lamar Tyndall. We have two files, 2022-21144 FC, 2023-21480 FC. I have Douglas Hartung appearing on behalf of the people and George Lyons appearing on behalf of Mr. Tyndall. This is the date and time scheduled for pretrial on both of these files. Mr. Lyons, how would you like to proceed?
And please, the court, as we discussed briefly in the chamber with myself and Brother Consul, we want to resolve this matter and resolve it in such a way that Mr. Tinsdale will get an opportunity for a release before Christmas on tether. May I speak with him privately for just a moment? I want to really make some things crystal clear.
All right, so Mr. Tyndall, I am going to hold on and close these breakout rooms, and then I'm going to open one for you to speak. Hold on one second.
I'll be very brief, Your Honor. I know you have a trial.
Fine. I don't have a trial. The trial's next door.
Oh.
So, all right, so I'm going to open up a breakout room, and I'm going to put the jail and Mr. Lyons. All right, go ahead and join that breakout room. All right, Miss Underwood, I have Mr. Voss back. So, Miss Underwood, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Benjamin Voss, have you had an Miss Underwood? She probably stepped away, Mr. Voss, because I had something else going on. So, let me send her a chat. Mr. Malaro.
I'm right here.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We never received a referral on Emily Smith.
Oh, said one was made. Let me see here.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that. All right, so Miss Underwood, how would you like to proceed on Miss Voss? Mr. Voss?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Voss, Your Honor, I believe is willing to plead as charged, no supplements, Your Honor. He would hope that any jail time, Your Honor, would be deferred, assuming he is compliant with all requests from the probation department.
All right, and there is, put this here. Now, under the statute, there is, Mr. Voss, have you served any jail time on this?
Only the nighttime on it.
Just 24 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and Miss Wagner and Miss Underwood, there's a requirement that says at least 48 hours to be served consecutively. Can that be deferred, or?
I don't know that it can be deferred, Your Honor. I think it's mandatory, but I mean, I'll defer to the court's discretion.
So, Mr. Voss, you understand by statute, I may have to require you to serve 48 hours in the jail.
Yes, ma'am.
And I mean, we can work that around your work schedule. All right. Okay. So, all right. And, so he's going to plead it as charged, Miss Underwood, with no second offense, but the third offense notice. Is that correct, Miss Wagner?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Voss, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Voss, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count one, operating while intoxicated, with the third offense notice, which makes it a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison with a minimum of 48 hours to be served consecutively? Is it your intention to enter that plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I see you in a car. Do you have a valid driver's license at this point? I don't know that you're driving. I just said I see you outside. I'm not saying that you're driving, but do you have a driver's license?
No,
Okay, and you realize you're probably not gonna be able to get one for a while anyway, right?
right.
Okay, and so neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Ms. Underwood?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Wagner?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that correct as far as you're aware, Mr. Voss?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Mr. Voss, do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that, Mr. Voss?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, yes, I do, ma'am. No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, so sir, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about May 20 of 2023 in Rowland Township in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of operating while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And you would agree that you have a prior conviction on September 8th of 2021 in Lima Municipal Court in Ohio?
Yes.
And would you agree you have a prior conviction on April 12th of 22 in Lima Municipal Court in Ohio as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge?
No.
Do you understand if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Ms. Underwood?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Wagner?
No, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Voss, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be?
No.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Voss, on May 20th of 2023, were you operating a motor vehicle in Rowland Township in the county of Lenawee?
Yes.
All right, and did you were driving on Geneva Highway, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you agree that you had consumed alcohol that evening?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you agree that your blood alcohol content was higher than 0.08 grams or the legal limit?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you have a prior conviction on September 8th of 2021 in Lima Municipal Court in Ohio, correct?
Yes.
And then another one on April 12th of 22 in the same court in Ohio. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, are you still on probation for that offense?
No.
Okay. Ms. Wagner, are you satisfied?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
Is it, let's see. Right, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Ms. Underwood,
It has.
Ms. Wagner?
Yes, Your Honor.
I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation, and I will set sentencing for January 12th of 2024 at 8:15 in the morning. Mr. Voss, you will need to appear in person that day, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that'll be January 12th of 24 at 8:15 in the morning. Mr. Voss, I have a couple, or go ahead.
Judge, are you okay with him living in Ohio from now until sentencing, or?
Is that where you live now, Mr. Voss?
Yeah, I was supposed to start a job and I ended up with a back injury, but I'm supposed to start back to work in about 2 weeks. I do have residence here that is sober, and I also have just recently restarted at the Zeph Center and got that fully cleared with my medical to be able to pay for it. And they do offer an intensive outpatient. If the court requires that I do that, I can do
Okay,
that.
Mr. Voss, that's great. I'm super proud of you for that. All right, so I'm fine with him living in Ohio, Mr. Coast.
Okay.
So, Mr. Voss, understand your bond conditions will continue and you need to comply with them with Mr. Coast. I'm gonna order, as I said, sentencing will be January 12th. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. Mr. Voss, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Miss Holly and she's gonna give you some instructions. You will be required to come in person for that interview with the probation department. When you meet with them, I need you to be truthful with them about your background and the events that occurred. They'll prepare a report. We will provide a copy of that report to your attorney, and your attorney will review that with you before the day of sentencing. And I am asking that, or Ms. Underwood, I'm going to require that the sentencing be in person. So, Mr. Voss, I am going to open up a breakout room with you and Miss Holly for her to get your information.
Judge, can I join that too, please, so I could get a valid address for him and also his work information?
Yep, so let me do it again. Let's
Whatever
see.
happens, is there no sobriety court going on now? Or
No, he doesn't want to do spread. All right.
okay.
Okay, I'm opening the room. Everybody go join that. Thank you. All right, so we are back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Braxton Lamar Tyndall. Mr. Lyons, you broke out and spoke with Mr. Tyndall. I have Mr. Hartung here. So, Mr. Lyons, you may proceed.
Your Honor, I simply shared with him the sum total of our in-camera discussion with counsel and the court, letting him know that he is on his last leg and at the end of the court's goodwill. I would ask the man to be set out to a date and time just prior to Christmas, Your Honor. At that time, we should be prepared to resolve this matter.
So, Mr. Lyons, are you available December 20th at 8:15 via Zoom?
Your Honor, it sounds like a good date, December 20th. That's a Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do we want to do it later or earlier? Do we want to do it another day? That's
I'd say earlier, I have a follow-up. I recently had eye surgery. I had follow-up at noon that day.
So, Miss Adams, would there be a half hour available? Let me see here. Like on December 19th or 20th? Maybe not in the morning, but the rest of our docket.
That Wednesday is not too heavy, if maybe we did like a, it's day 2 of a jury trial.
So maybe set it, what time's your doctor appointment that day, Mr. Lyons?
It's at noon, so I'm good in the morning.
So why don't we do 10 o'clock? Okay. So we'll set this over to December 20 at 10 a.m. That'd be via Zoom. And is there anything else we need to address? Yes.
We do have a sentencing at 10. I don't know if that matters too.
Is it like a major sentencing or just a sentencing?
Just a sentencing.
Oh, 10 o'clock's fine then. All right, so Mr. Tyndall, Ms. Tyndall, Mr. Lyons, I will see you back December 20th at 10 a.m. via Zoom. All right, thank you. Thank you. Have a good holiday. I'll leave it open, Mr. Tyndall, because I'll have somebody else come in. Thank you. All right. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the jail, I need. Ms. Underwood, are you doing any of Mr. Glazier's files?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
All right, so I need, all right. I have a pickup today. Thank you, Mr. Hartwig. Good Thanksgiving.
I got the Allison.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Try to find John.
Okay, yeah. All right, so I have Mr. Orozco and I have an extradition.
The pickup is Miller.
Yes. Hi, this is Judge Anzalone. So I'm ready for David. This is second floor, right? So I'm ready for Joel Orozco as well as David Davis.
Okay.
And then on the first floor, I have Mackenzie Miller, but I know it got bumped for the arraignment of Mr. Warner. So I'm ready for that one too.
Yeah, okay.
All right, you have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Your Honor, on Darnez Johnson and Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez, I'm assuming they were no-shows from the MDOC.
I don't know. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I got Roscoe, I got Lyon, Likens, I got Johnson, and all right, so let me look. Let me see if there's a writ.
But for Johnson, he's on observation.
Okay, so in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Darnez Donald Johnson, file number 2022-20959FH. Ms. Underwood, we once again received communication that Mr. Johnson is under observation. I'm not quite sure what that means, and I don't know if you perhaps have resources. I don't know if that requires a competency request. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Judge,
thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I did notice he has a couple other files set for next Wednesday as well.
So do we want to set this one over to that?
We can do that, Your Honor.
Okay, so I can set these over to December or November 29th and see what happens. All right, so
Do
let me
we
go to that.
need a skip and adjournment?
Yes.
Yeah, Your Honor.
All right, so 11:29 at 8:30. Okay, so then we have the people of the state of Michigan versus Jonathan Gonzalez Rodriguez, file number 23-21565FH. I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Miss McClure. Do you know if a writ was done? You're muted. You're muted. Still muted. Can't hear you. You're
Sorry.
muted.
Sorry about that. I think Rhonda and I talked about this case yesterday, and I did confirm there was a writ done.
Well, they didn't bring them. So is this arraignment or pretrial?
Arraignment, I think.
All right, so Ms. Underwood, we can set this out to,
I'm sorry, Judge, it is a pretrial.
It is a pretrial, Your Honor.
Yeah, sorry about that.
all right, yeah, I don't have a notice. It's probably over across the hall. All right, so we will set this over to, how about, is a week enough to rid them out or no?
Maybe 2 weeks, just to be,
All right.
I mean, it should
We'll
be
see.
enough, but just in case.
All right, so we'll set this out to December 10. No, December 13 at 8:30 in the morning. And you can do the stip in order to adjourn and Ms. Muir will do the writ. All right. So that takes care of that.
So
Let's see,
I do
Ms.
the
Underwood.
stip in order and Ms. McClure does the writ, Your Honor, is that? what you-
Yes.
Thank you.
December.
You're welcome. All right.
December
take care of-
6th, right?
I think I said December 13th.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh,
No.
13?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so Rhonda. It's all Rhonda today. So we have Mr. Orozco who's in custody and I have a Benjamin Likens for Mr. Glazier. Are you helping out with Mr. Glazier's files today because of the trial?
Hang on.
That one is just an arraignment, Rhonda, if you're
Okay.
able to do it.
I can do that.
Okay. So, there's my files. Okay, because he's been in my waiting room like all day. Okay. All right, Mr. Rasco, hold on. We'll be right with you, okay? All right. All right, Mr. Likens, can you unmute your device and turn on your video?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Likens, your attorney for today has a jury trial going. You're set for arraignment. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Benjamin Lee Likens, file number 23-21610FH and 23-21611FH. This is the date and time set for arraignment. So Mr. Likens, as I said, your attorney is involved in a jury trial next door at the next courtroom. And so Ms. Underwood's going to step in to handle your arraignment today, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Also, we were supposed to address bond conditions today, as I've been moved upstairs to, the circuit court.
I don't know anything about that. So, I mean, you can wait longer. If you want, we can just keep you in the waiting room and wait for Mr. Glazier to get here then.
Judge, there is a contempt of court bench warrant for him for the violation of the bond conditions. It should be in the file.
That was taken care of at the last court date, I believe. That was actually, it was dismissed at the last court date.
All right, so Mr. Likens, hold on. So never mind. We're just gonna wait for Mr. Glazier. So I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room and I'm not sure when he'll get here, but I'll just put you in the waiting room, all right?
All right, I have a doctor's appointment. I'm bed rest right now, so I don't know how that's gonna weigh in, if I'm able to answer.
So, Mr. Likens, here's the deal. If you want Ms. Underwood to handle your arraignment today and set it over for a week to address your bond conditions and the warrant, we can do that. Or we can wait for Mr. Glazier, but he's in jury trial and I don't know when, if he's gonna be able to come over here.
No, I understand completely.
So, but you have to stay. If I put you in the waiting room, you can't disconnect and go somewhere else.
That's what I was worried about. I don't want to.
Mr. Likens, do you want to have this set over for next week?
Yes, I do.
Then we'll proceed with arraignment, Your Honor.
All All right, and Mr. Likens, any issues you were gonna address with Mr. Glazier, we'll have to do next week, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
So hang on, Mr. Lyken.
All right, so Ms. Underwood, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
We would waive the reading of the felony information, acknowledge its receipt, the receipt of the witness list, and request for discovery, Your Honor. We would ask the court to enter a not guilty plea and set this down for a pretrial. I believe that would be the 29th, Your Honor, for Mr. Glazier to address this and bond issues.
All right, so Mr. Likens, I'm gonna set this over to next Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning, all right?
Yes, Your Honor. Is there any way you could tell me the details on the warrant? Was that one?
Mr. Coast,
Yes, Judge, I did talk to Miss Moore down in district court. And he did have a GPS tether on, in which he violated his curfew numerous times. Also, his tether was turned off due to non-payment, and he has never made contact with district court or circuit court reference getting set up with 2 times a week drug screening as part of his bond conditions.
so Mr. Likens, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Mr. Coast, and he's gonna give you instructions on how you need to get back into compliance with that, all right?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you don't, you can end up going to jail, got it?
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Likens and Mr. Coast, I'll let you go into that breakout room.
All right, thank you.
Coast, thank you. Okay. All right, Miss Underwood, I have Mr. Orozco, and I do have a letter from Mr. Coast. So this is in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Joel Jesus Orozco, 2 files, 23-21532FH and 23-21607FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Orozco, and I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. Ms. Underwood, we had a previous discussion about inpatient lockdown substance abuse treatment. I do have a November 14 letter stating that CMH is scheduled to visit him on November 16th at 2 p.m. So did someone come see you from CMH, Mr. Orozco?
Yeah.
Okay, the other good news is he was qualified and cleared to enter into Dawn Farms, which is like a 120-day program. He is 7th on the list. So they don't have a bed today, but he is 7th on the list for that. That being said, Ms. Underwood, how do you wish to proceed with Mr. Orozco?
Then I think we would like to adjourn this matter, Your Honor, perhaps to mid-December, and hopefully at that time, Mr. Orozco will be joining us from Dawn Farms.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am, so will my bond be changed then, or?
So, Mr. Orozco, once a bed is available at Dawn Farms, we would change your bond for you to go to that program.
Okay.
Got it? So what I'll do is I'll set this for another pretrial on, let's go December 13 at 8:30 in the morning. If we need to move it up or see him sooner, Ms. Underwood, obviously we will make accommodations.
Yep.
So Mr. Orozco, we will see you back on December 13th at 8:30, if not sooner. All right.
Thank you.
And I will prepare the skipping order with Ms. McClure's permission.
All right, thank you.
Objection.
So Mr. Orozco, you are all set, and could you tell them I'd like to see Mr. Davis next?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Judge, do you need me for that extradition?
Nope, I don't need you for an extradition. I still have Michael Ellison, but that is Douglas Hartung. So
Yes. Yep.
I think I'm done with you.
Okay. And David Davis, I don't know if it matters on the extradition, but he does have a pending charge here. I think we're set for
That's
PC next
that's
week.
what I was just looking up, Phoebe. I
Yeah.
represent him on a felony, Your Honor, that is still in district court.
Yeah. And I'm on the other side of that. That's why I just wanted to bring it to the attention. I don't know what bearing it has on the extradition.
I don't even know where this is from. Oh, Tennessee.
Yeah.
County.
Well, our next date downstairs is the 30th for PC.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Have a good Thanksgiving. All right, let me take these to Becky. Jeff, you want to take a minute or two? Go ahead.
Oh.
Glacier doesn't want to come in. He wants around to just adjourn it on the record that Allison case.
All right, I'll tell the judge.
And if you're going to be late for trial.
Yes.
Hold on, Mr. Davis. We'll be right with you. Judge. Why? It's okay. I wander all over the place. All right, so Mr. Davis, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus David James Davis, file number 2023-21599AX. Mr. Davis, we are here today on an extradition hearing. So let me look at this paperwork. Someone. All right, so an extradition is a proceeding to determine whether you wish to waive your right of extradition. It is proceeding to return you to another state in which a warrant has been issued for your arrest for the commission of a felony. It is in effect a demand by another state for your surrender and to return to that state to face the crime with which you are charged. You are charged by warrant by the Cock County in Tennessee on a pending warrant charge of manufacturing meth, simple possession, possession of a firearm, intent to go armed, which is a dangerous felony in Tennessee, financial responsibility law, I don't know what that is, but it's a statute in Tennessee, driving while in possession of meth in an open container, driver's license to be carried, that's probably not having a valid driver's license on you, seatbelt violation, possession of unlawful drug paraphernalia, and registration plate violations. So looks like they threw the whole kitchen sink at you.
Yeah.
So in the state of Michigan, we cannot determine the truth or the falsity of the charges made against you in Tennessee. You do not have to waive your right to extradition. You can require that the governor of the state of Tennessee make demand upon the governor of Michigan for a warrant for extradition. You have the right to demand and procure legal counsel. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint you one at county expense. If you or your attorney wish to test the legality of your arrest, you may apply within a reasonable time for a writ of habeas corpus. That is a writ by which your custodian is required to bring you before the court for the purpose of having a hearing to determine the legality of your arrest. You also have pending charges down in district court here, felony charges. So understand you're not going to be going anywhere until those cases are taken care of as well. Do you understand that?
That's what I was going to ask. If I waive my extradition, I still got to stay here until those charges are all taken care of here.
Yeah, because I don't want you to go to Tennessee and have to chase you down. So more than likely, you won't be released of Tennessee until we're done with you.
Okay.
All right. So do you understand the rights that I've just given to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Underwood, who represents him in district court?
I do, Your Honor. Am I correct, Your Honor, that he would be getting credit on that writ from Tennessee for the time he is doing?
Yes, starting today, if he waives his right to extradition, starting today, he would receive credit. Well, under Michigan law, I don't know what Tennessee law is, but under Michigan law, he would get credit. But, I don't know what Tennessee does, but I assume they would give him credit as well. So, Mr. Davis, would you like an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, please. Or for this?
Yes, please.
For this?
For the extradition.
Just for the extradition, no.
Okay, so do you wish to waive your right to extradition to a writ of habeas corpus and to an attorney and go voluntarily to the state of Tennessee to face the charges made against you in that state?
Yeah. I have one question. After this is all took care of, the Michigan deal, how long does Tennessee have to come get me from that point?
I usually give them about a week, and if they haven't come to get you, I'll bring you back to court. All right?
Okay.
So, let me do this. Okay, so do you want to waive those rights then? And waive your right to extradition? All right, so you have 4 copies in front of you, right?
Correct.
I need you where in the middle, above certification by judge, I just need you to sign your name on each one of those, all right?
Back in this envelope?
Nope. Have you signed all 4 copies?
Yes.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear that the signing of those papers is your free act and deed for the purpose of waiving extradition?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so hopefully we get to keep you until you take care of your case here, but otherwise, maybe I'll see you up here, but otherwise, good luck, all right? Safe travels.
Last envelope.
All right, thank you. And then could you let them know I'd like to see Mr. Allison?
Ma'am.
Thank you.
Rhonda, don't leave.
Rhonda,
Don't leave yet.
you are going to represent Mr. Allison for a moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have to rush off after that.
Oh, and I don't have to rush off.
You got 5 minutes?
I do.
What are we doing with Mr. Allison?
So, Mr. Glazier
It's
is
John
not available.
Kate.
Right, it's a pre-trial, but Mr. Glazier has a trial next door, so we need to get another date, and I believe Mr. Hartung's already communicated with Mr. Glazier.
Yeah, I talked to him just a few minutes ago, Ron. He said, please have someone adjourn that for me today.
Okay. What are we adjourning it out to?
Whatever works.
What do you want? A week, 2 weeks?
2-3 weeks.
How about, December 27? No, I'm sorry, December 20?
That's fine.
All right, do we need Mr. Allison?
I don't need him, but I don't know if Miss Underwood likes him.
Miss Underwood, do you want Mr. Allison here or?
Well, I should probably have him just to explain what we're doing.
Okay, so he should be coming in just a minute.
Are we gonna do the Miller pickup, Your Honor?
The female from the violation of probation. Maybe. They're supposed to get her, but I think it's kind of chaos down there today.
That's literally the last thing on my mountain this morning.
Hey, this is Judge Anslone. I was wondering if I could get Miss Miller back.
I will. I have somebody in right now with Judge Schaefer, and then I'll put them in with you.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye. All right. Well, other than putting that date on, Mr. Allison, have a seat, please. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Michael Lee Allison, file number 22-20996 FC. I have Rhonda Underwood is appearing on behalf of John Glazier today, and I have Douglas Hartung appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Allison, Mr. Glazier is in a jury trial in the courtroom next to me, and that jury trial has started. So he has spoke with the prosecutor and asked for this to get adjourned for a pretrial, and Miss Underwood is here on behalf of Mr. Glazier from the Public Defender's Office, okay? Okay, can you scoot up a little bit for me, Mr. Allison, because I can't hear you. That room has really bad audio. Is that okay with you? All right, so we will set this out to, what did I say?
December 20.
Okay, so we'll set this out to December 20 at 8:30 in the morning, and Miss Underwood, if you can do the stip in order to adjourn.
With Mr. Hartung's permission?
Yes.
You can sign my name. Thank you, Rhonda.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Mr. Allison.